Okay, so I just want to make a quick video to show what I've been doing the past year and a half of having my Jeep. Might seem like I'm really lagging on the process of converting it. And yeah, that partially is true, but I've been pretty busy in that time collecting parts, trying to get it as screen accurate as possible for when I do eventually paint it, which hopefully will be sometime in the next few months. So just making a quick video to show off all the parts that I've accumulated in the past year. Kind of point out what's accurate, what's not, what I'm still looking for. But yeah, hope you enjoy it. So first, you're looking at a BF Goodrich radial all-terrain, which is a little longer in production. Now you still see the all-terrains, the KO, and the new all-terrain KO2s, which have more aggressive tread that go down the sidewall a little further. But this is the original radial all-terrain. So if you watch Jurassic Park and you take a look at the Jeeps, you can clearly see this one as the spare and as all the other tires used. I believe, I don't know exactly when they stopped making this specific model. I want to say maybe the late 90s, early 2000s. They switched to the KO, and they took off the word radio that you see right there. So yeah, these aren't safe tires to drive on if you are able to find one. So this is just going to be for decoration as my spare, because yeah, it wouldn't be safe to drive on old rubber. But actually I got this on eBay. It was in pretty good condition, pretty dirty, and actually it's not even the correct size of what I have on my Jeep right now. I'm currently running 235s. This one is actually a 30, but it's the same size rim. It's 9.5 inch, but it shouldn't look too bad. I believe that's like the next size up. I know friends that are running 30s on their JP Jeeps, so it shouldn't be too bad. One other thing though too is I didn't know most tires have a dot number, which will tell you the year. I think it's on the other side. Let's see if we can find it. So I actually tell you the year the tire was produced. So after seeing the year my tire was produced, I definitely won't be using it. So I think that's the dot number right there, and as you can see, it's 385. Now, as I've read, the first number is the week that the tire was produced that year, and those last two numbers are actually the year. So 85 meaning this tire was produced in 1985. Yeah, I was 2 years old. I was about 8 years before the movie actually came out. So yeah, there you go. That's a radial all-terrain. And there are a few people I know that are actually running all four, but I don't think they use their Jeep much as a daily driver, more of a show car, because I definitely wouldn't recommend using it on a daily basis. So there you go. Let me show you a few other things I have, say for the Jeep. So following up on that tire, this is the correct accurate rims or wheels that are used on the movie Jeeps. It's the Jeep 5-spoke Wrangler wheels. I have a Wrangler Sahara, so I have the original Sahara rims on them right now. This is an extra one I bought for that spare that I just finished showing you. But I do have another set of 4 that are going on my Jeep once the conversion starts. But yeah, just wanted to show you. This is the original wheel. I'll have to get these either sandblasted and painted, and it's a little dirty, but it'll clean up nicely, and once you paint it, it'll look brand new. Okay guys, this part actually isn't screen accurate, but it is an OEM light bar made for a YJ, correct to the period. This is a 3-piece light bar that's actually has 2 bolts here that connects the 3 pieces, and this has the light tabs for the lights. It has 5 tabs evenly spaced out, just like the ones in the movie. The ones in the movie did have light tabs, but they were grinded off for a few of the Jeeps. So you can see the holes for the wiring there, which if you look very closely in the movie are still there on the scenes as they're arriving to the island. One of the reasons I am not going to attempt to use this light bar is because I'm trying to go for complete screen accuracy, and these light tab brackets right here, the ones in the movie actually go all the way up. So if you see how this one cuts off, the ones in the movie actually go all the way up to the bar, kind of at an angle here. And the welds on the outer side, let's see if I can get a, yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but the welds on the outer side are actually bubble welds, spaced out. You got one here, one about halfway, and one at the top. So these are nice clean welds here, but you only got the two. Again, this doesn't come up all the way, and I would have to cut this bar down to size because this bar is probably a good 2 to 3 inches too tall. It looks a little funny on the Jeep. I mean, it's a great substitute if you don't want to have one fabbed, or if you don't want to deal with trying to cut this down and weld it. I'm hanging on to it right now until I have one made, just in case. But this is actually screen accurate to the Jurassic World Jeeps. But again, even then they did cut the bar. Well, actually, they didn't cut it, but they did weld it and cut off the light tabs. So pretty cool. These are really hard to come by nowadays. Got it for about 80 bucks, I think, but I had to drive about 2 hours to get it. But I'm just hanging on for it for now. Sorry, the video doesn't want to focus. Until I get one fabbed or come across a more accurate light bar. So this one's not quite as cool, but it is an accurate piece. It is seen in the film just barely as Alan Grant and Ellie pretty much grab onto this to stand up in their seats once they're viewing the Brachiosaur. This is a YJ soundbar, OEM Mopar, original to the early YJs, I believe 91 to a certain year. After a certain year, they started putting a dome light in them. Let me flip it over. Now, it's not accurate, I know, but I did change the speakers on these because the ones in it either didn't work or rattled really bad. When I did get my Jeep, the first thing I did was upgrade the sound system. So that's one thing that I'll have to debate on whether or not I will change. I actually bought the VDP, I think it's like the 6-speaker soundbar. And I don't know why I went with the Spice, I guess to match my roll bar padding, but in hindsight, I probably should have just went with black to keep it a little more accurate. For that reason, I ended up buying this light bar, and when the time comes, I'll decide whether or not to put this one in. I did upgrade the speaker, so it shouldn't sound too bad. But yeah, this one's not as exciting, but it is accurate, so I just wanted to show you guys and throw this one in here. Next up, I have a backup. It's actually, I have one in my Jeep already. Backup green center console for YJ. So this is the accurate Sahara Hunter, Forest, Sahara Green, whatever you want to call it, center console that most Sahara should have. Most of the time these either break or are swapped out. So this was a spare one I bought. I'll tell you why I bought a spare one. This hinge right here loves to freaking break. It was very poorly designed, cheap plastic. So pretty much not the hinge, but when you, under constant opening and closing right here, this plastic right here is very fragile and breaks very easily. So after a couple times of maybe throwing it back without holding it, your lid is pretty much going to snap off. It's pretty much a given. You come across these on eBay all the time with broken lids. I know it's an issue I have. The one in my Jeep has actually been repaired. The lid broke off. Don't mind my dog. The lid broke off, and the previous owner drilled some holes and actually screwed some screws and nuts or bolts and nuts through there to hold that together, and it actually is holding up really well, but I don't like that. You can see those 4 screws. So I found this one on eBay, but this one kind of bothers me too. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Don't mind my dog Penny looking at there. In the listing, I didn't see this kind of scuffing here. The side doesn't matter because that'll be hidden by the seat. The rubber inlay here on the cup holder I do have already in the Jeep, so that didn't matter. This is gone, but I still have my lock, so I could easily throw that in. But one thing I didn't notice in the photos, which kind of makes me think he swapped it on me, was this lid. Now, when I received it in the mail, I thought, oh, this guy switched the lid on me. He put a gray factory lid on there. But actually, after looking at it some more, it looks like it's just fading because it has the correct green inside. And when you look, it's very, very hard to see. And I'll see if I can get this on video, sorry. The side of the lid is actually green, but I think some fading, Penny move, just sun fading, I guess, is what's happened to it over the years. And when I compared it to my center console in my car, I actually noticed my car one has fading as well. I don't think it's quite this bad, but it's kind of really hard to tell with the green seats and the green carpet, everything tends to have like a green tint to it when you're sitting in the car. So again, this is one I'm going to hold on to till after the conversion, because I feel mine will eventually fully break and be unrepairable at some point. So just hanging on to this. If I decide I don't need it, I'll eventually sell it. But for right now, it's just a spare, and it's fully screen accurate. Okay guys, I'm going to move off the couch. My camera's having trouble focusing on the fabric on the couch. These are KC highlights. These are correct screen accurate LE series KC highlights 4x6. Now, not entirely screen accurate, but they are the correct molds. I was able to find a set, as you can see here, new old stock on eBay recently, but these are part number 770. That's for the clear lenses you see here. Now these clear lenses are what were used on the Explorers in the movie, with the bezels painted red and the body painted red here. But I was lucky enough too earlier last year, I believe, to find some really good KC highlight knockoffs. Now the only thing that was missing from the knockoffs was this light tab right here, because these KCs, these original ones, came with this little flip cover that attached to these two tabs that you see on the side, which are right there. And also because of the cover, it had this warning sticker not to leave the cover flip down when you turn them on, because they could overheat. But this is the correct mold. I was able to use the amber lenses from those knockoffs to put on here, so they won't say 4510, which I believe was the correct part number for the KC ambers, and they have this little branding right here for Power, which is the brand of the knockoffs. But these are correct molds. They are brand new, at least new old stock, and these are very difficult to find. If you find these, they usually go for tons of money. A set of new old stock amber KC highlights went on sale recently on eBay, and it went up to like $400, which is just freaking nuts. These are actually like really cheap plastic lights. I mean, they feel really cheap. But yeah, these are brand new with replacement amber lenses. So I'm really happy I was able to find some new ones, because I got these dinky little tabs on the end, which pretty much is the only thing that makes it accurate compared to my knockoffs. And this warning sticker here, as long as with these 3 stripes here on the top, which is part of the correct mold. So yeah, these just mount to the back of the braking light here, the brake lights, and I'm probably going to get them wired on their own, so they have their own switch. I know a couple people that wire them to their reverse gear, but I want to be able to turn them off and on for photos and shows whenever I like, so I'll probably just fully wire those up. So there you go. Those are KC LE series highlights, the 4x6 screen accurate molds. Alright, so now you're probably wondering why we're just looking at some regular old YJ seats. Nothing special about these. These aren't Sahara accurate. Well, I do have Sahara seats in my Jeep, but the color is pretty faded and the cushioning sucks. I guess 20 years of getting in and out has pretty much killed the cushioning in the butts and the backing. Now the most common part is this part of the seat here, where you tend to slide in and out. Your thigh and butt normally run up against there. Yeah, my padding on the seats in my Jeep is just totally shot right here, and not to mention the butt padding is just kind of flat. Looks kind of sad. And this part here too, same deal. So when you slide in and out of the car, this part normally takes much of the rubbing, and yeah, my cushioning here is pretty shot. And another thing is the orange foam that they use on these seats here. On mine is actually starting to deteriorate. So every time you get in and out, you leave like a little layer of cushion dust on the floor, nice bright orange cushion dust, which kind of sucks. After I wash my car in the vacuum, a couple days later, I have a nice layer of cushion dust on the floor. This seat I have here does have a rip, but that doesn't matter because I am going to replace these vinyls, and it doesn't really affect the cushioning too bad. It actually still feels a lot more supportive than mine. As far as this too, all the padding is really good. It's not deteriorating. The levers, everything works on these seats. I got a killer deal on these guys. I got them on Craigslist for $50. I rarely ever see seats that cheap, let alone one for $50. And these are in great shape. The cushioning is in really good condition. So why did I buy new seats? Obviously the cushion issue, and the fading on mine really bothers me. I know a few guys on the Motorpool page have resorted to spray painting theirs or attempting to dye it. I consider just living with it, but I am trying to make my Jeep look as if it were brand new and just rolled off the factory and was freshly painted at Isla Nublar and was just sent out on patrol for the first time in the park. So what I'm going to do is, my crazy ass went and purchased 6 yards of original OEM Sahara fabric, and that's what it looks like. So this is the trail cloth color. This isn't the color that they use on the 95s, which is a more of a greener green. This is the dark green that you see in the movie. You see them sitting up against. It kind of changes in the light, just like the sand beige in the movie does. But yeah, this is nice, guys. Six yards. It is still available, surprisingly, from a site called Original Auto. You can order it. They sell original factory OEM fabrics and carpets and things like that. I didn't get it straight from them. I got it from someone who got it from them that decided not to go the upholstery route, so I'm going to take up the task. It's not going to be cheap, probably won't be easy, but I'm willing to sacrifice my current seat covers in the name of making some perfect brand new versions from those patterns. So one of the other things I'm going to have to do is replace the straps, which are normally seen here attached to the leather band. So what I did was I've been ordering some samples of different materials, see which one would be the best match. This is actually nylon webbing, so although it looks very good and it has a nice reflective sheen on it, it's not elastic at all. It doesn't stretch, it doesn't give, and that sheen, although it looks nice, it's not accurate, and you can tell. So I could go with this. Haven't yet decided. I ordered about 8 yards. It was a couple bucks off a site called Strapworks. And after re-looking at the ones in my car, I realized that they are kind of elastic. So what I did was, they don't sell it in that color, but I was able to order, sorry, excuse my fingers, trying to do this with one hand. I was able to order a few yards of some cotton elastic, which is much more accurate, I feel. Unfortunately, it only comes in black and white. So I'll have to either dye this or attempt that spray painting route. I have to admit, in pictures it looks good, the guys who have spray painted them. So we'll see what happens. I guess I'll test it out on a small swatch of this and see what it looks like. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna get this dyed to closest match the color of the fabric. And since I have the correct seats, I have the pouches on the back, and replicating the leather strip here shouldn't be too difficult. Since I have the originals. I don't think I'll be able to use originals because of the stitching holes that will be left once I remove the pouches and deconstruct the seats. So yeah, this is probably last on my list, guys. Even when my Jeep's fully done and converted, I can't drive it without seats. So it will definitely be the last thing I do once my Jeep's fully done, and I can just leave it away for however long it would take to do this. It might be in over my heads, but we'll find out, and hopefully I can do a before and after on what creating a brand new set of Sahara seats would look like. Alright, so what we're looking at here is probably the hardest accurate piece to hunt down, aside from the front fog lights if you're missing those. It's a Ramsey REP 6000 winch. Now this actually was my second Ramsey winch buy. I was able, luckily, to locate a REP 8000, which is a really good alternative. It's period correct, had the original Ramsey logo there, that I was going to use for my Jeep. But guys, I spend like every day looking online, searching through Craigslist, eBay, a few other sites that I know of, looking for screen accurate parts. Because like I said, since I'm not ready to paint my Jeep, I might as well be 100% ready to go when I do. And as many accurate parts as I can collect, the better. So yeah, I came across this actually on a for sale ad for a Jeep Cherokee XJ. So that's usually how you find these most of the time. It's rare when someone will post one of these online for sale by itself. It does happen though, but more than likely when you search Ramsey Winch, what happens on Craigslist is car for sale ads come up where the car or vehicle has a winch on it, and if you're lucky, it could be a older style Ramsey winch such as this. So the Cherokee had a winch in the ad, but it didn't say what model. But in the pictures, pretty terrible pictures. Maybe I'll throw a couple up. I could tell that it was a REP 6000, and the listing was for about an hour away from me. So I contacted them. I didn't think they'd respond because it was a small mom and pop dealership, and surprisingly they did. And again, I had to make it worth their while because they basically they were trying to sell the whole car. They weren't trying to sell a part, and they made this known clearly on the phone. It literally took a lot of begging for the guy not to hang up on me. So I did pay quite a bit for this. I paid I believe it was $500 for it. But these really don't come up often, guys, and this one's in really good shape. It wasn't perfect, as I'll show you in a second, but these are really rare, and this was one of the main pieces I wanted to try to get correct if I could. So I went down to the dealership, and he just took it off the Cherokee, and I brought it home. So you can see the cable, it's in pretty good shape. It's not wound very nicely. You can see down here, it's usually what happens, it unspools a few feet kind of sloppily at the end. The tie bars were actually black. I don't know if they were painted black or came black, but luckily a lot of these parts are still available for order. So I was able to order these from Summit Racing, which is a great site. Has a lot of the replacement parts. For some reason the decal was missing. The Ramsey decal was gone. So this one was still on. Sorry guys, I was cut off by a phone call there. So what I was saying is these stickers were kind of messed up on the original one. But yeah, so I was able to order new bars. Jonathan from the Jurassic Park Motorpool luckily makes replicas of these, which look really great, that I ordered from him. And I was able to locate part numbers for the clutch sticker and the spool direction sticker. Another thing I ordered was a new solenoid box. So this one's brand new. With brand new cabling, you can see here. This was the original one, guys. This is the one that was on it. So he kind of had the motor strap in here too. But yeah, I would have probably kept this and just cleaned it up, but he, because of his bumper that he had, he wasn't able to put the female plug on the front side like it's supposed to go. So I guess he drilled this top piece there, which left this big gaping hole on the top. And aside from that, this thing was like filthy. It was barely working when we were there. Had bad connection. You can see a lot of it's corroded. So yeah, it wasn't cheap. I think it goes for like 160 bucks. Brandon went over it in his video of his Ramsey winch that he just got. If you want to go take a look at that. But yeah, that's the one I replaced. Another thing I'm going to eventually replace once I hook this thing up and get it working is the winch cable. So this is the original cable. I think it's 1/4 inch, or I forget what it was. It's 95 feet, I believe, or 100 feet. Let's take a look. The info's right here. So yeah, 100 feet, and it's 1/4 inch. This is the part number here, and this is the correct Ramsey winch cable for the REP 6000. I know the 8000 is a bigger, I believe it's 3/4 inch. But once I get this thing up and on the Jeep and working, I'm going to replace the cable there. Another thing I bought, probably didn't have to, but again, I'm a little nuts, was I bought a new clevis hook here, which is pretty accurate. It's not identical, so again, I'll see if I end up using it, but it is nice and shiny, so that's the look I'm going for with my Jeep. But yeah, this is also Jonathan from the Motorpool made these replica stickers, the correct ones. Underneath here is a new updated version of this caution sticker. This is the correct fair lead here. You can still order. And this is a correct Ramsey winch plate here, but it's not correct to the movie there. They don't make them the same. Pretty much this fall off here isn't on the movie Jeeps. It just continues to the end and just comes straight down. But I ordered a new one, which is still different. But the reason I kept this one is because it has these nice 2-hole outlets for the solenoid cables. So I kind of like that, because if not, they'd be wedged in here really tight and coming off to the side. So I decided to keep that. But yeah, there it is, guys. Most people will just buy a similar looking winch and put some Ramsey stickers, which is just fine and is what I was gonna initially do. But I was lucky enough to come across a screen accurate version, and so yeah, just keep looking, guys. They do still pop up. It is fairly rare, but yeah, just stay tenacious and you'll eventually, hopefully, find one yourself. So this is less exciting, guys, but still pretty cool if you ask me. So when I got my Jeep, this is my original Jeep key that the owner gave me. 23-year-old key, really worn down, basically to a rubber nub. Yeah, you can see all the brass coming through. Yeah, I had been looking for a while, and the closest I could find were these Chrysler Y157 style keys that work with the My Year YJ. Basically, it just has the Chrysler logo basically on both sides. I couldn't find one accurate like this until maybe a few months ago, after just deciding to look one more time. Going on eBay, I actually found some blanks, original YJ blanks that are my style of key. Basically, I believe there's two different styles, maybe three different styles of Jeep blank keys like this. But yeah, so I ended up buying quite a few. I already have one that I cut to match this original one that is on my current keychain set. But yeah, that's pretty cool, just to show you side by side what they look like. Sorry, if the camera focuses. Well, yeah, there's the Chrysler side. You can see all that texture just kind of disappeared on that. Here's the Jeep side. Get a better look at that. Yeah, so yeah, pretty cool. This is 23 years old, worn down, used and loved, and this is basically a brand new old stock key right there. So I think that seller has since sold out. I do have a few extras, so if you're like me and anal and desperately in need of a original OEM key, just hit me up and I'll see if maybe I can sell you an extra. All right. Oh yeah, also too, this was pretty cool. I found an old Ramsey keychain. Looks like it's from 94, 50th anniversary that I bought. Just a cool little keychain, and this was custom made by, again, someone on the Jurassic Park Motorpool. I'm gonna be number 9, so there you go, my number 9 Jeep stripe keychain. There you go. Okay, so that's about it with the stuff I've been collecting over the past year. I have more, and keep in mind I do have an accurate 92 Sahara, so most of the original parts are already on the Jeep. These are ones that either weren't part of the actual Jeep or basically just Jurassic Park accurate parts, but not to the Sahara, or some parts that I'm replacing. Now this has nothing to do with the Jeep. It's actually more of an Explorer prop, but I just wanted to show you this to you guys. This is these are the Rilo's night vision goggles that he made about last year. I actually paid for these bad boys back in I think late 20 or early 2015 it was. Yeah, it took about a year to finally receive them, but man, were they worth the wait. Check it out, so cool. These actually do power up. They are not functioning night vision goggles, obviously, just a prop, but still cool in their own right. There you go. And a lot of people are interested in these. I get asked all the time where I got them, but I'll tell you, they weren't cheap, and they're not that heavy, to be honest. But yeah, they weren't cheap, but they're definitely cool. Make for an amazing prop. And funny story with these is they were actually basically, before I started my Jeep, I was going crazy buying back all my original toys from when I was a kid. And then I started moving on to props. Nothing screen used, because that stuff's like really out of my realm of affordability. But yeah, this, I went crazy, and I was probably a couple thousand in freaking toys. 32-year-old buying $1,000 worth of toys. But yeah, this was the last major purchase I said I was going to make. And literally like 2 weeks after I made this, I met up with Alan Douglas, which is one of the founders of the Motorpool, the Jurassic Park Motorpool, and got to see his Jeep in person. Needless to say, I fell in love. Thought maybe I could do that someday in the future. Someday in the future turned into 2 weeks later when I found my Jeep on Craigslist, and the rest is history. And here I am still working on it. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this look at the parts I've collected. Feel free to leave any questions or any comments if you've enjoyed it. Sorry for, thanks for sticking around. I know this was a long video to watch, but there you go. All right, till next time, guys. See you later.